Next weekend is the opener youth season. I'm going to be taking a youth hunter on this farm to try and get her first deer.
One of the bucks in particular that we were most looking forward going after this year is a buck that we call Lazy Boy. And here this past week, we got confirmation through the Cuddeback system that he is definitely back in the area.
Kay and I are out here today. We finally got some cereal grains broadcasted. Got some clover in there. We got a scrape tree set up. We're basically not going to be back down here until the Cuddebacks tell us to. It's July 31st, 2021. Kay and I are out here. We're actually on my grandparents' farm. It's just shy of 50-acre farm. There's an acre piece down here along the east side of this farm. It's a big transition area between a big block of timber to the northwest and a big block of timber to our southeast. Over the years, I've killed lots of big deer out of it, multiple does. It's just a dynamite spot for the transition area. But this year we're going to kind of change it up a little bit. We're going to primarily hunt out of the blind. We're going to put a fall plot in behind me here, and hopefully we'll be able to pull a few more deer in here with food source, because around this area we don't have anything but mostly cattle pasture, and we're hoping we get some food in here. We're going to hold some deer for later season. But we're going to get a little bit more work done here today, and we're actually going to run Cuddeback cell cams down here. In the past I've just usually ran a standard camera, and big deer would be coming through here, but I was a week too late. So once there's a deer in here and consistently in here, we're going to try to slip in and really capitalize on that. But we're going to get some more work done here today and check back in once we're going to start doing some planting. All right, it's 9/9/21. We're here on my pasture farm. We brought you guys down here earlier this season. I finally got this plot tilled up, and Kay and I are out here today. We finally got some cereal grains broadcasted. Got some clover in there. We got a scrape tree set up. Hopefully this is going to turn out really good. We're going to put a Cuddeback cell cam down here. We're basically not going to be back down here until the Cuddebacks tell us to. We're just going to kind of let it set and wait till the deer tell us to be back. We'll keep bringing you some updates. We have a few more farms to go to, and we'll keep you updated throughout the season.
Well, it's crazy to believe, but here in Iowa, next weekend is the opener youth season. I'm going to be taking a youth hunter, Emily, youth hunting on this farm to try and get her first deer. This is the area I call the mini farm. It's a small property that I have permission to hunt. I've had permission to hunt it for 3 years now. It is a total of 4 acres is all. So, and this is one of those farms where it really proves that you do not need a big farm to shoot nice deer. I personally have never harvested a deer off this, but I have some great footage of some other great bucks, and especially bucks that Emily would love to take. So I came in and broadcasted this Brassica blend about a month ago. And it actually has turned out great. I can't believe how well it took for the first year of a food plot. It's a creek bottom. Right behind us is a creek, and this was all planted into canary grass years ago. So it took 3 times to spray it and kill all the canary grass, and then we were able to come in and broadcast all this brassica in here. But our goal in here today is to do some manual labor. Me and Ron grabbed some gloves, and there's some weeds in here, so we're gonna just try and pull the best we can and produce a better opportunity for Emily to get on a nice buck around this area. So another thing we want to do is get a Cuddeback set up and make sure we know what's moving around on this farm and kind of get an inventory of what's going on here. So we're going to get to work, and hopefully this plot will be looking a lot better here in a couple hours. We finally got all the projects done we wanted on the mini farm today. It's about a half a mile walk from the road, and we are completely landlocked. So it's just kind of a perfect little staging area, a little center area. So only thing we were able to get in here was this little pop-up blind that we were able to carry in. I think it's about right in the perfect spot for Emily to get on a nice one. I got high hopes. Hopefully on these cuddebacks we'll start seeing something showing up, and here in the next week we're going to be starting our deer season 2021, so I'm excited to get started.
Welcome to Midwest Whitetail, the Heartland Show. Today is September 9th, and here in eastern Iowa, the beans have pretty much started to turn brown, so the deer are really starting to not focus quite as heavily on the beans as what they have. So we're out here today doing some last-minute projects and trying to get our Cuddeback system kind of moved around more onto fall locations rather than the summer locations that they have been. And this is going to consist of putting them on either mock scrapes, or there actually has been a few active scrapes starting to pop up. So our plan is to get all these cameras moved to these scrapes so we can continue to take inventory on what bucks we'll have to hunt this fall. One of the bucks in particular that we were most looking forward going after this year is a buck that we call Lazy Boy. Lazy Boy got his name last year. We got a series of trail camera pictures early September of him actually bedding down in front of a trail camera. We hunted him all fall last year and had several encounters with this buck, but we just seemed to be a little bit off on our setup each time. But by the end of the season, we think we got figured out what tree we need to be in. And this particular spot sets up kind of in an outside corner of this big main block of timber that holds a lot of does. There's a big ditch crossing there and a scrape, and we caught him going through that area several times last year. So what we did is we went in this spring and we actually cleared out the end of that ditch to where we can actually get into that stand pretty much undetected. So it's pretty much going to be a bulletproof setup, at least with any south or west wind. So we really think that that's going to be our best chance for catching up to him this fall. Here this past week, we got confirmation through the Cuddeback system that he is definitely back in the area. Kind of the plan to hunt him this fall is going to be to try to stay out of that stand. That area holds a lot of does, and if we can keep the pressure down on that area until the end of October, I feel like we have a really good chance. Anticipation's definitely building up. We got several good deer we can go after on this farm, and we also got a couple good bucks on another property that we'll probably target early season. There's a good deer that we filmed when we were doing some velvet scouting that has real good tall brows. Then there's another big buck on that property that's a big deer that we call splits. So we'll probably target those deer as we kick the season off, and then hopefully we can catch up with Lazy Boy when we get a little further into October. Thanks for watching Midwest Whitetail.
Hey everyone, ran down this morning to do a few last minute projects, check a few cameras, check on the food plots. Just finished up with this scrape tree behind me. I staked it down and freshened it up with a little bit of scent. Also tied the fence down, try to incentivize them jumping the fence in that location. Things are shaping up real nice, and just kind of look over the farm and make sure everything's ready to rock for the season. Alright, made it on down to the next plot. Got the plot screen along behind me over here. I have a mowed clover path that goes all the way over to the other food plot that I was just at, and it's definitely a natural cruising area. They're already hitting the mock scrapes really well. Every year they seem to have a scrape right there, so I went ahead and just kind of incentivized that here a few weeks ago, and as you can see, they're definitely tearing it up already. So we're going to get everything checked out here on this one and continue on around the property. Alright, made it on back to what I call the back part of my farm. I'm standing in a plot here that I call my top plot. I've got a scrape tree right behind me, and I've got radishes kind of spread out in front of the ghillie blind, just because they like to hit those a little bit earlier. They're doing well. And then I got a strip of plot screen right here to block the top half of this plot, so the deer from the bottom have to come up here and check out what's going on and hopefully put them in bow range. So thanks for following along with me today on the farm. The season's getting super close, and we'll see you again here next week.
Welcome into Midwest Whitetail, the Heartland Show. Today is September 15th. Just here at the house, getting a little practice in with the Hoyt. But wanted to give a quick update as to what my brother and I will be doing this coming season and what we've been up to this off season. First and foremost, My wife and I brought a beautiful baby girl into the world back in May. Charlotte Christine is growing like a weed and feels like she'll be hunting with us before you know it. Some of you might remember we lost a permission piece last year about halfway through the season. So that stinks, won't be able to hunt there. But we will be able to hunt my Uncle Mike's, where Clayton shot a good buck last year. We didn't get that one on film. We were kind of doing a memorial hunt for my grandpa who passed away last year during first shotgun season. But that property has 2 shooters on it. One we're going to call Pappy, kind of after my grandpa, and he's a beautiful 12 pointer. He might go 170s. He's a good deer either way. And then the other one is not going to break any scoring records, but he's very unique. We're going to call him Tiger. He's real high and tight, comes straight off of his head, and he's a mature deer. We're thinking he's about 6 years old. Those are the 2 at that property. I'm also going to be hunting the public ground again this year, and last but not least, we'll be hunting a new permission piece. This property has 80 acres, and there's some tillable and a lot of forest, probably I think it's roughly 60 acres of timber, and inside the timber, kind of on the edge, it has a 2.5 acre food plot. So we came in and planted a fall mixture just a couple weeks ago. Hopefully that's popping by now, and we're gonna have a beautiful full 2.5 acre food plot. That landowner does hunt quite a bit, so we won't be in there a whole heck of a lot until the rut. And then late season, he actually goes down south, so we'll have the whole property to ourselves after first shotgun season. A couple good bucks there. One of them we're going to call Pistol Pete. He's a beautiful 7-pointer. I have a thing for real wide and low points. I like 6s and 7s, so I'd love to see that buck. We also have another real heavy 12 there. We're calling him Gordy. So Gordy and Pistol Pete are going to be our main targets on that farm, and hope you enjoy what we did this off season, and I look forward to showing you what we can do this coming hunting season. Thanks for watching.